Kemi Badenoch slams Labour's disastrous farming policies in Wales. Full analysis. Kemi Badenoch has boldly characterized Labour's approach to agriculture in Wales as a significant failure. During her address at the Royal Welsh Show in Builth, Wales, the Conservative leader articulated her belief that both the Labour governments in Cardiff and London have wreaked havoc on the farming sector in Wales. She asserted that a Conservative administration at the UK level would overturn Labour's plans regarding inheritance tax, which she has provocatively branded as the immoral family farm tax. Badenoch stated in an interview with ITV Cymru Wales, "We are committed to supporting farmers. Agriculture isn't merely a profession, it's a way of life. Advocating for farmers means advocating for Britain." When Labour first assumed power, they introduced this unjust family farm tax, which threatens to devastate farming across our nation. "I assure you, once the Conservatives regain power, we will be scrapping it." The Conservative Party is still navigating the aftershocks of a staggering defeat in the previous year's UK general election, where they did not manage to secure a single Conservative MP in Wales. Additionally, the party is bracing for potential losses in the upcoming Senedd elections next year. A recent Barnes Cymru poll conducted for ITV Wales and Cardiff University indicates that the Conservatives may find themselves in fourth position, possibly with as few as 9 members in the Senedd. In her interview, Kemi Badenoch acknowledged the challenges ahead. "We are fully aware of the historic defeat we faced last year. It will be a tough climb to regain our footing, but that's the mission I'm committed to. My presence here is part of my effort to connect with communities across the nation, rebuilding public trust while recognizing our past errors. It's clear that Wales has not prospered under Labour, and it certainly won't under Plaid Cymru or Reform." When asked about her faith in Darren Miller's leadership of the Welsh Conservatives, she replied enthusiastically, "Absolutely. Darren is by my side. We have a great rapport and communicate regularly. He is definitely the right choice for First Minister." The conversation also veered towards the status of Miller's leadership. Historically, when Andrew R.T. Davies led the Welsh Conservatives, the then Prime Minister David Cameron had indicated that Davies was viewed as the leader of the broader party in Wales. Since then, perceptions have varied among different leaders. When I inquired who constitutes the true leader of the Welsh Conservatives, not just within the Senedd, but for the party as a whole, Badenoch responded, "I do." Curious about Miller's role in this dynamic, I pressed further, asking, "And where does Darren fit into this picture?" Badenoch explained, "Darren leads the Welsh Conservatives in the Senedd, but that's not the core issue for the public. They want to know who will act in their best interests, and that is the Conservative Party." I followed up with, "Different Conservative leaders have given varying answers to this question." To this, she asserted, "You've raised a valid point. We are a cohesive party. We stand as the Unionist Party, without the intention of fracturing into several factions. We are the Conservative and Unionist Party and believe wholeheartedly in the United Kingdom. We aim for Wales to remain a vital part of the UK, rather than the fragmented future Plaid Cymru envisions. Labour, too, risks further dividing Wales." Badenoch further supported the stance that Conservative candidates in the next Senedd election should not oppose devolution, asserting, "That's the framework we currently operate within. Devolution is ongoing. What's paramount is ensuring we have the right individuals in place. It's about the people involved." When asked if she felt doubtful about devolution, she candidly responded, "Yes, because many perceive devolution as a standalone answer. In reality, it's not. It depends on its application. The effectiveness comes from the quality of leadership. If the wrong people are in place, it doesn't matter if there's devolution or not. Conversely, great leadership can make devolution successful." I posed a provocative question. If you were to become Prime Minister and Darren Miller headed the Welsh government, would you consider rolling back devolution? Could powers be reclaimed? Badenoch replied firmly. In the grand scheme of the top 100 things this country requires, that's certainly not at the forefront. So what do you think? Do you believe the labor policies in Wales have truly been detrimental to farming, as Badenoch claims? How do you view devolution's effectiveness? Join the conversation in the comments. Rural business planning. Preparing for major inheritance tax changes. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, looking out over a landscape that's been in your family for generations. Now, picture that same land, your family's legacy, suddenly exposed to a tax that could threaten its very existence. This is the reality facing farming families and rural businesses across the UK. The government has just announced a major shift in inheritance tax policies that could shake the foundations of rural life as we know it. In a move that's left many scratching their heads, the UK government has confirmed its plans to drastically reduce agricultural property relief, APR, and business property relief, BPR, from 100% to 50% for qualifying values above £1 million. This might sound like a small change, but in the world of farming, it's a seismic shift. In reality, it's a tax that hits not just excess but resilience, succession, and the very viability of farming operations. But here's where it gets controversial. A £1 million threshold is practically meaningless in the context of modern agriculture. The capital required to run even a modest-sized farm far exceeds that figure. This isn't a tax on excess. It's a tax on the backbone of our nation's food supply, environmental health, and community support. These aren't peripheral goals. They're the very foundations of the UK's ability to weather global pressures and existential threats. And this is the part most people miss. The government has shown a willingness to change course under pressure. Rural communities were right to expect the same recognition for their vital contributions to national life. Yet, it seems that message has fallen on deaf ears. The protests, from tractor convoys in Westminster to widespread public support, made it clear that this was not a niche concern. But it appears the government hasn't heard the call. The impact will be uneven but serious. Family businesses, encouraged to diversify and innovate, now face a triple bind: higher taxes, reduced support, and rising operational pressure. Tenant farmers, while not facing inheritance tax on the land they farm, will still be hit by changes to BPR and pensions, with knock-on effects on landlords and future tenancies. At a time when the sector is already struggling with rising costs, labor shortages, and policy volatility, this legislation risks being the final straw for some. So what can landowners do? The timeline for action is narrowing, but there are options. Understanding the value of your holdings, stress testing succession plans, exploring practical options like conditional exemption and lifetime gifts, reviewing trust arrangements, and understanding how life insurance might help. These are all crucial steps to take now. The good news is that there are solutions, and Knight Frank is here to support landowners through this generational shift in rural business planning. The question is, are you prepared? Being prepared for what's coming is essential. As we move forward, we'll continue to advocate for a more balanced and supportive approach, but now is the time to act. The future of rural business in the UK hangs in the balance, and it's up to us to navigate this challenging landscape together. Inheritance tax concerns. Impact on family farms. Concerns regarding inheritance tax, IHT, are leading to serious disputes within families, particularly in the farming community, as highlighted by Farmers Weekly. While the Welsh agricultural sector has shown a cautious optimism towards the newly introduced Sustainable Farming Scheme, SFS, the DPJ Foundation, a mental health charity, has pointed out that worries surrounding changes in inheritance tax policies are becoming increasingly pressing. Following the release of the draft legislation for the Finance Bill on July 21, farming unions from both Wales and England have called on the Treasury to rethink its approach to these policies. The DPJ Foundation has emphasized that the stress associated with succession planning is adversely affecting farming families. In a related article, MPs have warned that the proposed IHT reforms could dismantle family farms across Britain. Kate Miles, the manager of the DPJ Foundation, noted, "In some instances, discussions about succession have not gone well, leading to significant rifts within families." She explained that the underlying issue often stems from families feeling pressure to engage in these discussions, which can lead to hasty decisions. These conversations are occurring at a pace that many are not comfortable with, resulting in divisions, she shared during an interview with Farmers Weekly at the Royal Welsh Show. The repercussions of these family splits can be profound. When these fractures occur, they significantly affect mental health and relationships, which are crucial to our daily lives. If a relationship deteriorates on the farm, it impacts not just the home, but also the business itself. There are numerous factors at play, including the identity tied to being a farmer, which is now under threat, Ms. Miles added. In response to these challenges, the DPJ Foundation has set up a stand opposite the Welsh Government Pavilion at the showground, encouraging farmers to reach out for support and embark on a journey towards better mental well-being. Visitors to the stand have the opportunity to experience a new virtual reality headset designed for mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, part of an innovative pilot project in collaboration with the Herefordshire-based initiative. We are Farming Minds. The DPJ Foundation is seeking around 25 farmers to participate in this small-scale trial, aiming to provide valuable support and resources to those in need.